Very good evening, everybody. We'll start with today's Mathematica session, and we're discussing since last 2 3 lectures regarding the Nux Vomica, a wonderful remedy. And yes, it is a remedy. Almost many people in today's life, modern life, requires the Nux Vomica because all things which you commonly see, a person with ambitious attitude and runs behind their ambition, running behind the goal, you used to find it out everywhere. And that's why it is a very common state with which you can observe the Naksumika personality, the jealous personality is going again and again, here and there, that you used to find it out over there. So it is a wonderful remedy we are learning. Before entering into the again the Allen's notes, I want to share one case, and it is a common state with which patients can approach, but we miss the Naksomika because in our mind it is fixed for the GI troubles. So my suggestion is that it is not only for the GI troubles. You have to look to the other particulars where it is also one of the favorite remedy. So a young patient again came to me with a severe tendency to get a cold off and on, and he said that he used to get the coryza, and it remains watery in the daytime, and at the night the nose becomes blocked up. In daytime also he used to get the obstruction of nose, and it is always because he has to sit in the AC room. He was a worker in the industries, and his cabin was completely AC. And he says that whenever I'm outside the AC, I feel normal, but whenever I enter the AC room, I start getting the symptoms. And he explained that he used to get the nose obstruction of nostrils and alternate nostril. One time one nostril is obstructed, then after some time the second one gets obstructed, and it goes on whole day, and along with the watering from the nose whenever I'm there in the AC. But as soon as I goes out, I feel quite better and I feel happy. But in our industry, I have to remain in that room, and it's not possible to keep the room AC block off because the whole room is congested otherwise, and that's why it's not possible to shut off the AC. And that is my problem. And at night I used to get suffered with absolutely stuffed up nose. And he has explained the young fellow with all these troubles, with a sedentary life, with acid peptic trouble, with constipation, all those things are associated. But main trouble was respiratory. It was not main trouble GI system. He said that he has a constipation, he has to get the acid peptic trouble, but it was not so, which generally used to form in the Nux Vomica person or used to present with Nux Vomica person. But this fellow very specifically explained that he has this nasal complaint. And one, if you open the Voixma Medica, you'll get these features with the Nux Vomica at a particular level. That nose is always stuffed or stopped at the night, obstructed at the night. And daytime, they get the fluent coryza. One more feature which Boris has explained, that alternate nostrils gets obstructed over there, and whenever the obstruction is from one side, the discharge is from another side, and that is the typical of the Nux Vomica which you used to find it out. Third important thing, they are very sensitive to simple things like AC. Immediately they starts getting the nose running. They are very sensitive to the smells of the food, and immediately they starts getting the running of the nose. So smoke in the kitchen can affect their nose and starts dropping from nose the water. And there is one feature which is common with the netremio. They drops it from the tip of the nose. That is very typical with this remedy also. So these are things with which I have prescribed the Nux Vomica, not necessary for that patient to go for high. I have given him Nux Vomica 30 and asked him to and meet me after week. And after a week, when he entered, he was too happy that he has relieved from the obstruction. And he said that, doctor, since last week, when I started medicine, I started getting very good sleep. Generally, I was not getting good sleep because of two things, either because of this nasal obstruction as well as At the midnight, my sleep used to get disturbed, but this has stopped since you have started the Nux Vomica. That was another indication where Nux Vomica is indicated, which he has not told during the case taking. So Nux Vomica is the remedy which you can utilize at many levels and along with the state of Nux Vomica. So person, even at a particular level, at the nasal level, at the back, at the rectal level, and the male genitals, there are many areas where Nux Vomica can work, but state of Nux Vomica should be there along with that. Then you can confirm the Nux Vomica. So this is a wonderful remedy. Let us go ahead with the another feature of the GI features. GI, that is the constipation. We have discussed the stomach complaints yesterday. Let us go with the constipation of the Nux Vomica. And very specifically, he has mentioned the constipation with frequent unsuccessful desire. That is what is called as an urging. The patient always gets urged to pass the stools again and again, again and again. And that is very difficult. And that is unsatisfactory urging. Unsuccessful desire. Passing small quantities of pieces. Sensation as if not finished. That is very difficult. The frequent unsuccessful desire. mm, the sensation which happens to be there generally in upper abdomen when it happens, it is ignatia and veratrum that has been mentioned. But specifically when it is related with the Nux Vomica, it is the urge which develops in lower abdomen in Nux Vomica. Frequent desire for stools, anxious, ineffectual, ameliorated for time after the stool, in the morning after rising, after mental exertion. So this is very difficult. Constipation with urging is Nux Vomica. Keep it in your mind. If there is absolute constipation or obstinate constipation, Nux Vomica is not the remedy. Obstinate constipation, whenever you think, you have to think about the bryonia, you have to think about the opium, you have to think about the sulfur, you have to think about the Nux moschata, where there is a complete dryness and there is no urge to pass the stools. This is very difficult. That is what is called as an obstinate constipation, and those are the remedies where there is no urge to pass the stool. Even Calcarea, they never have an urge to pass the stools, and that's why Calcarea enjoys the constipation. So these differences which we have to understand. If we are able to understand all those differences, it is quite easy to prescribe for the Nux Vomica. So if a patient who asks you a remedy for constipation, don't give blindly the Nux Vomica. You ask specifically what type of constipation is there. So whether you get the urge for stool or whether there is no urging. That is the first question you have to ask. Second, the quality of stools, that is you have to ask for. What type of stools do you pass? Whether they are hard, whether they are semi-solid, whether they are soft. Even he has a constipation. Even soft, still he has to strain. All those things, because all those things makes the patient characteristic. You can find it out remedy on the basis of those characteristics and not only on the constipation. So there I have seen that many people blindly use, if the patient is having constipation, they prescribe Nux Vomica. No, it's not like that. You have to ask all those details and those are necessary for your prescription. So this is what he explains over there regarding the constipation. And one more feature which is very typical with the Nux Vomica is alternate diarrhea and constipation. Sulfur and veratrum, two more remedies. Yes, definitely. Opium also has the same state, alternate diarrhea and constipation. But opium, it is the alternating symptom. Opium has many alternating symptoms. But opium has the constipation, which is obstinate constipation. Here it is constipation, which is with urging. That is one difference which you have to find it out over here. Alternate constipation and diarrhea in persons who have taken purgatives all their lives. See, this is too important. These are the people who are habitual to take the purgatives. They are taking either crimapine, they are either taking that isabgol, they are taking Ayurvedic laxatives, many varieties of laxatives they are using. So if patient says that if I don't take this, I will have a problem. That is their big problem. And they always ask you, doctor, this problem you solve, then I will be absolutely happy. So see, the happiness is hidden anywhere in the patient. So this is what I have been told by many patients that doctor, you solve this problem. That is my big problem. So these things are quite common with the Nux Vomica personalities, that they have the constipation and they have a trouble because of constipation. And alternate diarrhea and constipation is a very important thing which is important, which indicates the Nux Vomica. So these are all GI features, and you will see that maximum gastrointestinal complaints are there in Nux Vomica. Then he turns towards the female genitalia. And regarding the menses, what he says, menses are too early, too profuse, last too long. So there is early menses, then they are profuse, they last for longer time of duration, or keeping on several days longer, with complaints at the onset and remaining after. Menses every 2 weeks. See, all varieties of menses. They are early, they are profuse, they are long lasting, means menorrhagia is there. Then every 2 weeks they are appearing, they are irregular, never at right time. That is their another big problem. Then stopping and starting again. So patient feels as if their periods have stopped, and after 4 5 days, again they start getting the periods. This is very typical. These are the personalities which has that problem again and again. So sulfur is one more remedy, and which is complementary to the Nux. So if Nux relieves those patients, give the sulfur as a complementary three doses, and patient will be settled. Because this thing is very good complemented with the Nux Vomica. Sulfur. Menses during and after aggravation of the old symptoms. So during and after the menses or aggravation of the old symptoms. So the patient has old symptoms, anything, if GI features are there, if headache is there, if coryza is there, whatever maybe the complaints are there, during menses and after the menses, all complaints gets aggravated. That is the thing which is present in Nux Vomica. So menses whole state has been mentioned over there in one paragraph, and with that state, if the patient approaches, think of Nux Vomica associated with the state of Nux Vomica. They will not come calmly and tell doctor, I am having such and such problem. They are always in a haste. They are always in a hurry. They are always in a stress. They are always wants to go to the work. That stress is there at the back of the mind, and that you have to catch that. Yes, Nux Vomica is hidden over there. Then this is a good remedy in obstetrics. What he says, labor pains. What type of labor pains? They are violent, spasmodic. Labor pains cause urging to the stool or to urinate. Labor pains aggravated in the back, and patient prefers a warm room. They never allows you to start the fan. They never allows you to keep the AC on. They are too chilly, and their pains are very spasmodic, very violent, and patient is in an irritable state during that labor pain. Patient has a nauseated feeling. They want to take out vomiting over there. And every time after the pain, there is always a feeling that they are passing, they want to pass the stool. That is typical of the Nux Vomica patient during the obstetric. One more feature which was remaining regarding the GI feature, strangulated hernia, especially the umbilical. Umbilical hernia, Nux Vomica is very important remedy. If it is inguinal hernia, and specifically right-sided hernia, it is lycopenia. Inguinal hernia, left-sided, Nux Vomica again. Strangulated inguinal hernia, left-sided Nux Vomica again. Nux is very important remedy because Nux immediately moves the bowels, and that's why strangulation gets settled with the help of Nux Vomica. So this is very important. One has to understand about it. Backache. See the backache. Must sit up and or turn over in bed. Patient cannot turn in bed directly. They have to sit up and then they have to turn. That's what I have explained in yesterday's case. Lumbago from sexual weakness, So see, the lumbago is associated with the impotency. Second important thing which he has mentioned, lumbago from masturbation. So features, the male genital features associated with the backache, associated with backache with where patient is not able to turn directly. This remedy plays very vital role. We never think about the backache in Nux Vomica, but backache is very typical. There is a whole spine is burning in Nux Vomica. That burning sensation is very characteristic of the Nux Vomica, which is mentioned over there. So backache associated with sexual problem, backache associated with the masturbation, all those things which you have to consider over there. We'll finish the remedy and then we'll have a chat and we'll discuss the questions. Repugnance to cold or to the cold air. They never tolerate cold. They're always, whenever the cold is going on, they always stops you. Stop that AC. That is the problem with them. They're chilly on least moment. Slightest moment, they are always chilly. Chilly from being uncovered, must be covered even in every stage of fever, chill, heat, and sweat. And how do they sleep? They covers whole body, pack like that, and never wants to keep anything open, like Hepar sulfurica. They are too chilly like Hepar, and they even slightest if even one part of it comes out, they becomes irritated. They like it completely blocked. For two reasons they want to keep covering. First reason is that they want to keep covering for one purpose, that they don't want like a chilliness. And second important thing for which they keep the covering is they doesn't want to get disturbed. They want the quietness. So anything around them disturbs them. That's why they close the everything, even they keeps it on the face also and blocks the things. And whenever it happens, at that time they feel better. They always like that quietness over there. So this is very typical posture with which the patient sleeps. And the reason behind that is they don't want to get disturbed because of it. Then the fever, last point of the Allen's keynotes, where he explains about the fever. See the fever. Fever, there is a great heat, whole body burning hot like aconite. Both remedies are having very dry heat. Face is red and hot like belladonna. Eight patient cannot move or uncover without being chilly. If they want to they tries to remove the cover, they feel too chilly, and that's why they want to completely close the body. Even during cold stage, or hot stage, or sweating stage, they never allows to remove the clothing. That's a very typical feature of the Nux Vomica. So they are chilly like Hepar sulfuricum, where they want to completely close their bodies. Hepar is too chilly that even person from the next room opens the window, he immediately says, "Close that window." He's so sensitive. So this is the one more remedy which is too chilly. Cilicia is also chilly. The soranum is also chilly. But these remedies, Hepar and Nux, they are the person who wants to cover up their body fully. Now he turns toward the relationship. And relations we have to understand very clearly. Sulfur is nearly all diseases, it is complementary remedy. There are three complementaries. Sulfur from sori, psychotic, it is Calicarbonicum, and sepia from tubercular myosome. Three complementaries are there with the Naxumi. Inimical to the ginkgum and must not be used before and after. So ginkgum is inimical. Immediately after Nux, you should not go for ginkgum, or after the ginkgum, you should not give the Naxumi. Follows well after arsenic, ipecac, phosphorus, sepia, and sulfur, and is followed well by Bryonia pulsatilla sulfur. But my suggestion is that always, if Nux is very acute in origin, you can follow it with the sulfur, sepia, and kalika. Many times you get the constitutional in these three, and that is a good indication with which you can go ahead with such a remedy relationship. Nux should be given on retiring. See, this is very important thing. This is the hint given by Allen. Right? Nux should be given whenever the patient was sleeping on in the evening before dinner. He should take the remedy and he gets very good sleep. Nux should be given on retiring, or what is better, several hours before going to bed. It acts best during the repose of mind and body. So it is the remedy which acts very nicely when patient is in a rest phase. His mind and body is at the repose, complete calmness, and Nux action is wonderful action at that time. So we have to understand these concepts. These are the hints which are mentioned specifically, have a meaning. And then he turns toward the general modalities of the remedy. Aggravation. There is a morning aggravation. Person waking at 4 a.m. aggravates the patient complaint. Mental exertion after eating or overeating. That is a common thing with the Nux, their government. Touch, noise, anger, spices, narcotics. All those things affect the Nux because these are the things patient goes on taking again and again, and these aggravate the thing. Aggravated in dry weather and in cold air. See, these three remedies which we should not forget. Dry, cold air aggravates. Nux vomica. Second is heparsulfuricum. And third is causticum. These are the three remedies they are having very typical cold aggravation. And second thing which he is explaining over there, amelioration in the evening, amelioration while at rest, amelioration by lying down, and amelioration in damp, wet weather. Three remedies which are having damp, wet weather, amelioration is causticum, heparsult, and Nux vomica. So, see, very nicely he has elaborated the Nux vomica. The whole picture of Nux vomica he has explained in front of your mind. If we understand this Nux vomica in thorough, we will never forget actually the Nux vomica. Very nicely, the Alan has mentioned the Nux vomica in his book. So we have learned many aspects. My suggestion is that you go with the Boyle's Materia Medica and read the first important paragraph before the mind, where he has explained the pathophysiology of Nux, how the Nux personality develops. If you'll read that, then you'll never forget that Nux vomica, and you can utilize it very nicely. So that's all regarding the Nux vomica. There were questions regarding this. Someone have raised the mm, hand, Pratibha. So what was your query? Okay. Prasuna, she has asked, sir, in case of nasal obstruction, should there be a gastric symptom or mental symptoms indicating? If they are so, well and good, it confirms. But state of Nux vomica should be there. The person is not calm and quiet. Person is irritable, person is active, person is hurried, person is always he is restless, and they comes to you and they explains it with the typical Nux state, with the frowning. This frowning is very common with the Nux personality. They comes in that phase. That is what the Nux personalities are there. Which potency works well in fever? My suggestion is always go for the 30 or 200. These are the potencies. You don't have to go to the high in Nux vomica. Generally, Nux is very sensitive remedy. Even in low potency, it acts at the depth. So 30 or 200 are sufficient to be utilized. Okay. Any other query?
Hello, sir.
Huh? Yes.
Sir, in case of Knox, it is said that that person's, according to mental symptom, he is very irritable and very active person.
Yes.
And it is also said that they are hypochondriac, literary, and studious persons.
Very studious, very intelligent, very active, very zealous, enthusiastic, very intelligent.
Both type of mentalities in the same person, sir.
Means
One is irritable, nervous disposition.
irritability always comes whenever the person things goes against his will. Nux irritability is there because there is a problem that he is ambitious and he is very fastidious for his ambition. If something obstruction comes in his ambition goal, then Nux gets irritated. He never wants to get disturbed during that time. That type of irritability is there in Nux Vomica.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, in fever, sometimes rigor develops, no? At that time, Nux Vomica will be useful?
You have to take into consideration all the details. Rigors itself are not indicative of the remedy. They will not going to give you directly a remedy, Nux Vomica. You have to take into consideration many things. So that's why I used to use the state of the person I am using. State means that first few paragraphs which are explained over there. That is what is state of the Nux Vomica personality. So when we open the Nux Vomica from the book, Allen's notes, the first few paragraphs which are there up to the bad effects of copy, till that period, whatever is there, that expresses the Nux personality as well as Nux state. So that we have to understand. Sir, Nux is called universal antidote. Can you please elaborate? No, Nux is not called to be a universal antidote. It is coffee and tobacco. These are definitely universal antidotes. Camphor is one more which is universal antidote. But generally, what happens? Coffee and tobacco. Those are very commonly utilized in with the peoples. Camphor occasionally. Now there is a Ganpati season will come, and then camphor is there. And if person is taking the homeopathic remedy, they should remain little bit back because their camphor fumes also affect their action of their remedies.
Sir, most people are taking nowadays gutka. That is also a tobacco product.
Yeah.
So how will our medicine work, sir? We are giving the medicine, but we are asking them to stop that. But they are continuing it after half an hour or 1 hour. They are starting with that
What?
gutkas.
The first
Gutka.
important thing that it is basically it is the person's that person should think about leaving the gutka or leaving the tobacco. That is more important. It depends upon that person. Medicine will going to help him. Medicine will not remove the addiction. If he has to remove, it should be there in the mind of that person. And if you want to ask the patient to leave the gutka, you should instruct them strictly. Otherwise, tell them that I will not take your case or I will not give you medicine next time. Be sure that patient should stop. You should dominate the patient in such cases.
Okay.
Sir, if we keep camphor, potentized camphor with a potentized medicine, other medicine, can it be, it will affect other potentized medicine?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, sir.
Some hair oil also have camphor. So don't use. That's the suggestion. Navratna tel contains the camphor, I think so. So avoid that. So that's all for today. Thank you. We'll start with the next medicine in tomorrow's session. Which medicine we have to take? Complementary to the sulfur, any remedy which is there in second year syllabus, we can start. Aconite, arsenic, aloes, radiaga, and so on. Arsenic is there for second. We'll start with arsenic album tomorrow's session. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.